Have you ever stood in the middle of New York City, looked up, and just been amazed by the sheer scale of it all? The towering skyscrapers of glass and steel that seem to scrape the sky. It's an iconic image, but have you ever wondered how that look came to be? Because it wasn't always this way. New York's architectural identity was forged in a crucible of revolution, immigration, and bold new ideas that traveled across an ocean. This is the story of how New York became the capital of modern architecture. Our story starts not in New York, but in Germany, with a revolutionary art school called the Bauhaus. Founded in 1919, the Bauhaus wasn't just about painting or sculpture. It was a total reimagining of design. Its philosophy was simple: form follows function. They believed that beauty shouldn't come from fancy ornaments or historical decorations, but from the clean, honest expression of a building's structure and purpose. They championed industrial materials like steel, glass, and concrete. The Bauhaus was a radical idea factory, promoting simplicity, efficiency, and a new machine-age aesthetic. But as political tensions rose in Europe during the 1930s, this forward-thinking school was shut down. This, however, wasn't the end of the story. It was a new beginning. Many of the Bauhaus's greatest minds, including its final director, Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, fled to the United States, bringing their revolutionary ideas with them. And that's where our focus shifts back to New York. When Mies van der Rohe arrived, American architecture was still heavily influenced by older, more ornate styles. But Mies brought a new gospel. His famous motto was "less is more." He believed in stripping buildings down to their absolute essence. He envisioned a new kind of skyscraper, not as a heavy, stone-clad mountain, but as a light, transparent skeleton of steel, wrapped in a shimmering skin of glass. This wasn't just an aesthetic choice, it was a philosophical one. It represented transparency, rationality, and a break from the past. He saw beauty in the precision of a steel beam and the reflective quality of a glass pane. His ideas were about to find their most powerful expression in the heart of Manhattan, and they would change the city's skyline forever. The first major breakthrough came in 1952 with the completion of the Lever House on Park Avenue. Designed by Gordon Bunshaft of the firm Skidmore, Owings and Merrill, it was a pure distillation of these new ideas. It was a stunning blue-green glass box that seemed to float above the street, unlike its neighbors, which rose straight from the sidewalk. The Lever House set its main tower back, creating a public plaza and an open courtyard at its base. This was revolutionary. It gave something back to the city: light, air, and public space. The building's skin was a curtain wall, a non-structural facade of glass and steel, which allowed for wide-open interior spaces flooded with natural light. The Lever House was a sensation. It was sleek, it was elegant, and it was unapologetically modern. It became the blueprint, the prototype for a new kind of corporate headquarters and a new vision for urban living. But the story doesn't end there. Just a few blocks away, a student would surpass the master. In 1958, the Seagram Building rose, designed by none other than Mies van der Rohe himself. The Seagram Building is often considered the absolute pinnacle of modernist skyscraper design. It is perfection in bronze and topaz glass. Mies took the ideas from the Lever House and refined them to an obsessive degree. He used expensive materials, not for show, but for their inherent beauty and integrity. The I-beams you see running up the side of the building, they're purely decorative, added by Mies to articulate the building's underlying structure, a concept he called skin and bones architecture. He meticulously obsessed over every single detail, from the proportions of the windows to the type of screws used. Like the Lever House, the Seagram Building also features a large public plaza, setting a new standard for corporate responsibility in urban design. The arrival of the Lever House and the Seagram Building was a watershed moment. Together, these two buildings completely redefined what a skyscraper could be. They broke the mold of the heavy, masonry-clad towers of the past and introduced a new language of minimalism, transparency, and structural honesty. This new style, which became known as the International style, was perfectly suited to the post-war corporate boom. It was efficient to build, it symbolized progress and modernity, and it created flexible, open-plan office spaces that corporations craved. Soon, glass and steel towers, inspired by these two Park Avenue icons, began popping up all over Midtown Manhattan and then across the world. They were economical, they were sleek, and they represented the future. This massive shift had a profound impact on the city itself. The focus moved away from decorative facades and towards the purity of form and the quality of public space. The creation of plazas like the ones at Leverhouse and the Seagram building changed the relationship between private buildings and the public street. They offered pedestrians a place to rest, to meet, to simply enjoy a moment of open space amidst the dense urban fabric. This idea of the tower in the park became a major principle of urban planning, influencing zoning laws and development for decades to come. The New York skyline, once a collection of stone and brick spires, was transforming into a glittering forest of glass. Of course, this transformation wasn't without its critics. Some felt that the minimalist aesthetic was cold, sterile, and anonymous. They argued that these glass boxes lacked the character and human scale of older architectural styles. By the 1970s and 80s, a reaction known as postmodernism began to push back, reintroducing historical references, ornament, and color. But the legacy of the Bauhaus and masters like Mies van der Rohe is undeniable. They didn't just design buildings, they fundamentally changed our perception of the urban environment. They gave New York and the world a new architectural language that continues to shape the cities we live in today. So, the next time you're walking through a major city and you see a sleek glass tower reaching for the sky, remember its origins. It's a story that began in a German art school, was carried across the ocean by visionaries escaping turmoil, and found its ultimate expression on the streets of New York City. The Leverhouse and the Seagram building are more than just buildings. They are monuments to a time of immense change, a testament to the power of a simple, radical idea, that in architecture, as in life, sometimes less truly is more. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this journey into architectural history interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories behind our built world. Let me know in the comments which building you think defines your city's skyline. See you in the next video.